Okay, so let's get started. I have anything you want to say before we get started, Nasha or Leslie? Nothing.
I'm just curious to see what's in your fishbowl.
Okay, I got my fishbowl here with
Ooh.
lots of questions. Let's see.
Wait, but how candid can we be? What is
As
this?
candid as you want to be in public, because this will be posted later in the Love Revolution group. So, as candid as you feel comfortable. All right, let's see. The first one. Without the ability to separate and give each other space, how do you stay romantic and maintain intimacy? So somebody anonymously posted that or sent that to me. You need me to reread it?
Go ahead, Miss Naja.
I kind of came here to listen.
Okay,
She's just
okay.
wrong for that.
All right, so she wants to fall back. Well, Leslie, you have any?
Oh, she wrong for that. Okay. Well, what I find people mistake a lot of intimacy with sex. Sex is not intimacy. You see what I'm saying? And what people fail to realize is the biggest sexual organ you have is your mind. And women are really feelings and emotion oriented and mind and things like that. But to keep it spicy and things like that, first of all, can somebody please ask a woman what make her feel good? Stop assuming, stop Googling YouTube, listen to the boys on the job. Ask your specific woman what she likes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Talk to her. Talk to her, see what turns her on, see what gets her going. And a lot of times I find, like, I call it nasty talk, like the sex talk, whatever. By the time you finish talking, you're ready to go.
Right.
You're ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So really, I think, I know it sounds whack, but communication is key. Find out what she like. Just don't come in there with a whole bunch of uh, toys and gadgets and bells and whistles. That may not be what she into.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? First of all, have a sex talk, a no holds barred sex talk. Like, baby, what you? Oh, you being recorded, but talk strong enough. Trying to like keep it clean. You see her pausing like Obama. But ask her what she like, and then once you find out what she like, y'all can venture off together. Once you do what she like, and then y'all can collectively venture off and do things. You see what I'm saying? That's the best thing I can say right now.
Well, let me ask, both of you, do you think that COVID has affected that romanticism and intimacy, or do you think it's the same way?
It depends on the people, because to me, in my head, you would think it would draw you closer together. Because so many times we got different careers going, especially me, always on a plane, always going, always traveling, whatever. It's just ships in the night, that bill come, or you pay that bill, all right, who got soccer practice? We're like, now, this is a time that everybody's on downtime. You see what I'm saying? And it should draw you together. If you really liked each other in the first place, then that's the question.
Yeah, I agree.
I hear a lot of people say people getting separated and divorced and arguing and fighting. And I'm thinking, like, well, something was wrong at first if it's all that. Because most people I know is making a whole bunch of babies during COVID, a whole bunch of COVID babies. So, woo, child. Ooh, this summer gonna be popping next summer. But I just think it should draw you closer, because you're on downtime. You see what I'm saying? You get to take a breather, and I that's just my opinion. But that's
I agree.
like your spouse.
Yeah, I feel like 2020 has been an eye opener for everything, especially relationships. And if you don't belong together, I think it will be revealed through this whole COVID situation, because you're gonna get tired of being around each other if you don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a problem with communication and all of that, it's gonna come out in the wash.
Definitely.
I definitely agree with that. All right, anything else y'all want to say on that one before I move on to my
Miss Nasha?
Nasha said she just here to look at us and listen.
I
know. She'll jump in when I get to a good one. Let's see.
Okay.
This one says, do men marry the one they love, or the one that is available when they're ready to settle down? So do they marry for love or the one that is available when they're ready to settle down? So what do you guys think? We're all women. We don't know, but what do you think?
That's too much of a broad. We can't, to speak for every man would be kind of like wrong.
Right.
I guess it would vary,
Mhm.
especially the maturity level of a man, his upbringing, his goals, and things like that. That varies. Some men do either or, and some men, unfortunately, do both. Um, I, I think that's up in the air. It depends on the individual. To me,
I think it's both too. I think he has to be ready
hmm
and he has to meet the one that he's not necessarily in love with, but he cares about, he's interested in, and then it can grow from there. But I feel like, if it's the wrong timing, it's not going to work.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I think it has to be both. It has to
yeah,
be, who's available and who are you interested in at that time, that they're available and you're available.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Nasha?
You know, you guys are doing a great job so far. So
And we're hoping some other friends join us. I've been really blasting it out there, so we'll see. All right, so the next one I have in my fishbowl is, has dating become, oh, well, it says more difficult with COVID, or is it the same for you? So I guess dating, meaning not a relationship, a serious relationship yet. So do we feel like dating is more difficult with COVID, or is it the same? Because we got video chat and all that going on.
Child, I think it's more difficult. It
Okay.
was rough in the first place, but now, good God,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of those behind those masks, you don't know if you got somebody with 5 teeth. Let me slow for you stuff. But I'm just saying,
That is true. That is true.
you don't know.
And you don't want to ask them to take their mask off because then you're exposing yourself. So, what do you do?
Girl, COVID, then, now I have God, I can't put her business out there. Dang. Anyway, an individual was just telling me last night, and I laughed so hard, I started choking. I thought I was dying. I thought I was having a heart attack. I was like, yeah, give me a bear, I'm dying. Because I'm not a buster out a laugher. But child, she was like, yo, I'm like, what happened? Somebody died? Who dead now? And so she said she had this, met him on some kind of web thing or whatever. And the texting was consistent. Everything was wonderful, whatever, but she had not talked to him on the phone. They were just texting, instant messaging, texting. They knew what each other looked like and things like that. So yesterday was the first time she talked to him over the phone, because she's young 30s or something, because these young kids like to text. And she said when he called her and she answered the phone, he sounded like Medea.
Oh, goodness.
What? And he was like, girl, I gotta go take my mom. She said it was so much sugar. She
Oh,
said in
no.
his tank. I said, you sure? She said, if it won't. She said everything shut down. She said her juices stopped flowing. He almost stopped breathing. She was like, oh no, this ain't gonna happen.
Wow.
So through paper and texting and all that social distance stuff, he was perfect until they talked on the phone and all she saw was Tyler Perry in the dress. She said she couldn't get nothing flowing. I was just like, stop. Then she was like, girl, you need to write a book on just my dating life. And then, like I said, somebody took off a mask and you could drive a car through his mouth. And I was like, girl, shut up. I was just like, she said, we're being deceived and hoodwinked out here. She said, I hate Rona.
Yeah, that's why,
Because
I've been watching Catfish lately because I'm late, with the Catfish. And I have just finished the whole series, all the series. And you got to do the video chat nowadays, especially because, like you said, the mask, you don't know what's behind the mask. So if they don't video chat with you, I mean, shoot, you don't know what you're getting. All right, we got Jackie coming in.
Okay.
Let's welcome her.
Yay.
Oh, no, we know you while you clapping, Nasha.
You got another friend coming.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, Jackie, can you hear us? Let me see if I can message her to make sure she can hear us. Or she may just have a camera on. But yeah, I definitely think that it probably is harder dating. I mean, I'm not currently dating, but I know it was hard before. So,
Well, can I ask a question on that?
mm-hmm.
I'm looking around like, how do you have relations during COVID? Is there certain
That's a great question. I had the same question, especially when it first
positions you
came
don't
out.
do to be safe? Is everything from the forget it?
Michelle is joining us too.
Whew,
Hey,
thank goodness.
Michelle. Everybody's shy though. They got the cameras off.
I don't know how to word it properly so it won't be distasteful, but
Hey, Michelle. I see you now. But yeah, I mean, how do you get down?
yeah,
And
how you get
still feel protected?
because a lot of people are asymptomatic, right?
Right.
So even if blah blah blah. So to be extra cautious, how do you get down and dirty and stay safe? Is everything you wear a mask? Is everything pointed? No kissing. Everything from the backyard. I mean, what do you?
My thing is, you in a relationship, you supposedly love them.
But you said dating, because a lot of these young people not exclusive. They just
That's true. I mean, if you're just dating, I agree. You want to still take precautions, but if you're in a steady relationship, to me, that shouldn't impede anything. You're supposed to trust them. And I mean, if they get sick, then I guess you get sick together. I mean,
Well,
She's shaking her head. Michelle shaking her head.
I mean,
Hello.
if you're living together, how can you avoid that?
I know of a woman, if we're talking about dating and not
Not a
you know,
steady relationship.
not relationships or permanent relationships like a husband, etc.
Yeah.
But I know a woman who met a man during COVID, and they met online, and they were texting, and then it led to phone conversations and video chatting, and they did not live in the same area. I think it was about 4-hour difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 4 hours or so. They really wanted to kind of move it along. They are both older, I think like in their early 50s or something. And they're like, I don't have time for this. So they wanted to move it along. And so he said, okay, yeah, I'm going to come, visit you. And she said, yeah, I think that should happen. And the plan was for him to stay a couple of weeks with her. And so what they ended up doing is right before him leaving to come visit her, they both went and took COVID tests. So just like you might have your partner that you're thinking about being physically intimate with, take an STD, like you go and take STD or STI test. That's the same thing that they did with COVID. So they both did that, got the results back, and that was okay. And then they proceeded with the trip. So, some of it is, some of it is a risk because right in transit, you could possibly, be exposed. But there's some things that I think you can do to mitigate your chances of being exposed to the virus. So.
Because my thing with that is, you hear so many things. I don't know what's right or wrong, what's a lie or the truth. But they were saying in some of the tests, people I know they've been different things at different times. You had it, then you didn't have it, you take a third time, you don't have, I mean, so that's why I was asking to be all around safe. You know, when I was a teacher for daycare, they was like, treat every child like they had AIDS. That's like back in the 90s, this and that. I mean, we couldn't, like, you know, my natural reaction was to, if a kid throw up, I go grab her on the playground. And they're like, no, you can't do that. Put on your blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's a kid. Like, no, you have to treat, because we weren't allowed to know that as daycare workers. I worked for a learning center. We weren't allowed to know who had what. So we have to treat everybody like they had it. So that's why I was asking for people who are dating, like, you know, a situation like that, what type of position do you do? Do you kiss and not kiss? How? Because no one's talking about this stuff. So I decided to ask y'all, like, you know, because, you know, we perish for lack of knowledge. Like, you know, what do you do?
Right.
But I agree with Nasha. That's a wonderful way to have it in a perfect world of Walgreens. But these kids are smashing. So,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
go ahead, Miss Michelle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I see them at work all the time. That little row with STD patients are getting kind of full back there again. So they out there. They out there. They're coming by appointment, but they're showing up. So
Ew.
yeah.
What city you in?
I'm not too far from you.
I'm in Newport News. Where you at?
I'm in Chesapeake.
Okay. Well, that's over the, well.
Like 20 minutes. Not too
I
far.
hope you was in Maryland somewhere. Like, oh.
Oh no.
Definitely have to take precautions, but you know, to me, if you're married, you're in a steady relationship, you're not going to probably wear a mask in the bedroom. I mean, you know, that's a bit much. You know, you can just take the normal precautions for in public, you know, making sure you social distance and all of that kind of stuff, and take tests like Nasha said. Yeah, but realistically, nobody's gonna wear a mask in their bedroom. You know, that's just weird. That's just weird. Unless you're into that kind of thing, you know, dressing up and stuff like that. I mean, it might be sexy to do that. I don't know. All right. Anybody else have anything else to say about COVID, the bedroom? All right, let's move on. Would you take a chance on someone in another country? Okay, tell us why, Michelle.
Oh no. It's too far. Now I gotta get on the plane.
You got to get on the plane to meet the person.
Yes. Oh no. You don't know what could happen. They might try to kidnap me. No.
That's true.
You know, so you just don't know. It's kind of dangerous, but it's dangerous everything. But that you have to have a really serious thought about it. Yeah, really think about it.
What if you've been online dating for quite a while? You know, you've been talking to him for 5 years and you want to meet in the middle somewhere. Would you be more open to it then?
I don't know, because then they might be trying to use me for a green card, see, or a visa to get back over here. See, I don't know. It's kind of it's kind of tricky, so you just don't know. People kind of strange nowadays. Now
they devil strange.
You gotta be careful, man.
Well, you know, I think, like, you know, those people who come over here all the time for business, those like foreign businessmen who or something have been over here for a year or two. They're legitimate businessmen, I guess. But somebody who's never been over here and they talking to you, I just.
I would take a chance on somebody from another country, but a lot of things would have to be in place with that. Meaning, probably not somebody I met online. No. So maybe I met the person while traveling. You know, so, you know, I met them in person while traveling, or someone who already knows me really well, who lives in another country, made a suggestion and said, hey, you know, there's this really great guy that I know that I think I'd like you to meet that you might be perfect for, you know? So in that type of situation, I would be open to chatting, like, you know, especially if I were dating, you know, you just date. I mean, because generally you date, if you're not in a committed relationship, you'll date multiple people, you know? So I would definitely do that, but not someone I met online. That's too much, because you already have to take all this time to get to know somebody. But either someone that I met while living abroad, you know, traveling and working abroad, studying abroad, or something where I was already abroad, or someone I know who knows me really well, who lives abroad, who knows that person, and you know they're making this decision. Yeah, you know, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. And you take too many risks, like I mentioned earlier with watching the catfish show. I mean, they could scam you, they could kill you, kidnap you, anything. It could be who you don't think it is, somebody who looks totally different or a whole different person. So, you know, you got to be careful even in your own hometown. And definitely if you're going to go all the way overseas somewhere, you know, you have to be careful with that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you guys think with this online thing, especially with COVID or whatever else, and like we've stated before, two people meet online, blah, 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 blah. Do you think it's appropriate for the woman to go to him, or he come to the woman's hometown where she feels safe and know the surroundings?
I would definitely say, personally myself, that he should come to the hometown, not my house or anything like that, but come to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I can feel comfortable, you know. And if he is a catfish, I didn't travel too far, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It's like, come see me. You don't know what you're walking into. You know, and you're a female traveling. And you know, Black women are not protected. People treat us like trash. So we got to be extra cautious when others don't. You see what I'm saying? Not saying nobody else, they got to be cautious. I'm just saying that we are disregarded, disrespected, and thrown away in a heartbeat. You see what I'm saying? So I really feel like if a man wants you, he come get you. What you look like? I'm sorry, I'm back.
No, you're right. I mean, yeah, a woman shouldn't have to go through all of that to go meet a man. I mean, I'm traditional in that too, that the guy should take the first, you know, move and make.
I was called stick in the mud, old fashioned, and a prude.
Oh,
Tell me what you want. I ain't never been to Texas and I ain't coming to see you. Like, are you serious? Get out of here.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I like gentlemen, and I need the man to come see me. The only exception that I would make is if I were already in that town for something totally else, you know, like unrelated to that person.
Yeah.
And it just happened to work that way, you know, where we could meet up really quickly. But beyond that, there's a gentleman, I need you to come to my, to where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, once we, you know, if we were to begin dating, like, you know, consistently, obviously, I'm going to have to go to his hometown because I need to look around, you know?
Right.
But exactly. But
he walked with you in public at the Walmart.
But in the beginning, no. In the beginning, I you know, I like gentlemen, so.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else have anything else to say about that? Okay, let's move on to the next one. Quite interesting. Getting sexy now. Would you date someone who is pansexual? Why or why not? So let's first define pansexual.
Thank you, because I was going to
say anybody else, you know, aware of what that is, pansexual?
I'm almost 60.
Well, let me tell you what I have perceived from what I've, read and watched and stuff. Someone who's pansexual is basically open to any type of sexual experience with anyone. That's the way I see it. I could be wrong.
Anyone and anything?
Let's keep it on the humans, I guess. I don't think it becomes like bestiality, but I don't know. I don't know about that part, but I'm thinking anybody, male, female, or, someone who doesn't identify as any type of sex. Nowadays, there's so many labels, and I'm getting used to all the new labels, transgender, transsexual, cis female, cis male. I mean, so many different labels now, and I'm just trying to keep up with all the different labels. But pansexual, to my understanding, is someone who is open to sex with any spirit, any soul, any human being. So would y'all be open to that? Why or why not?
I pass.
You pass.
I pass.
Which means no. You're not open to that.
Oh no. No. Nah.
Yeah. It's a little out there for anybody who's traditional,
Yes.
You kind of have to be, I guess, trendy and up to the times what's going on today.
I'm behind. I'm behind.
I think pansexuals, or people who might be more open to dating someone who's pansexual, maybe they're more interested in a polyamorous type of relationship. Or I'm not saying interested in that, but they would be open to something like those types of relationships. I don't want to stereotype, but when
Does that mean throuple? I'm so confused. Polyamorous is not throuple? I know nothing. I'm learning now. I don't know what any of them are.
Polyamorous is being married or in some kind of steady relationship with more than another person. So it might be 3 or 4 people, right? Now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say throuple and that is synonymous.
No, throuple is just 3 people, but a polyamorous relationship could have more than 3 people.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I guess what I'm saying is, for me, I'm into someone who identifies as, a male, like I'm into men, in particular cis men, but I believe someone who might, and because I feel like maybe this is a bit of stereotyping because I'm not a pansexual, but I believe somebody who would be interested in somebody who's pansexual is probably open to dating both men and women,
Yeah. I'm trying to think, Nasha, you seem to be a little bit more knowledgeable about it. And it's telling me now that my meeting's going to end in 10 minutes, so we got to wrap this up. What is the label for that in between male and female? There's a name for it, and I just can't remember it.
I don't know about it in between. I know that there is non-gender conforming.
Okay, I heard that one before.
You don't want to identify with either male or female. Like, you don't want to conform to those limitations.
So that'll make you pan, right?
I'm sorry?
They'll make you a pansexual then.
So
right?
that's more gender.
No, it's more gender identification.
Oh, okay.
You see, the sexual and the gender are 2 different categories.
Exactly.
So it becomes even more confusing for some of us who are more traditional, because some people mix all that in and say, well, they're transsexual when they may be transgender, and they're 2 different things.
Yes.
Right.
They
So I
are.
watch
Your
videos on
gender
it to
is
try
about,
to understand.
your gender is about, you know, like what you relate to, you know, what you feel you are within your own body, regardless of the type of body that you're in.
Okay.
So like you guys see me as a female, but let's say I was transgender and I have not gone through any type of transition. So I haven't, you know, done any, you know, haven't gone through any type of transition. But my gender, I could say I was male, for example, but you physically see my body as female, but I identify with the gender of male. For example, since this is going live, I will say that I identify as female, and you know I have.
We understand. You just use that as an example.
But that is an example.
Okay.
So regardless of what you see, it's about how the person feels and how they identify with a specific gender. Yeah. But I don't know what's in between. All I know is non-gender conforming.
And not binary. I think non-binary is what I saw.
Okay, yeah.
So if you're filling out an application, you may not say male or female. You might say non-binary.
Right, which is, yeah. But I wouldn't say that that's in between. So that's why I was like.
That's just something else.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody have anything else to say about that? Okay.
I have a question.
We have 6 minutes left. So we're going to wrap it up with one more question. Do people see marriage as the answers to their problems? If so, why?
What problems?
Just their life problems. Do people see getting married as a way of solving whatever they're going through, relationship-wise or otherwise?
Not really. Some do, some don't. That varies. It depends on the person.
Personally, you don't feel that way, but do you feel that way in general? Do you think people get married as a way to, let's say, fix relationship issues?
Well, sometimes they do. They think that's the end all to be all, but and a lot of women, especially in the church world, all I've heard for the last 30 years, when God sent my boys, I mean, it's a hobby. You know, you have people celibate 10 and 15 years waiting on that special one. Someone have died waiting on a man, and all they focus on, man, they could have gotten a PhD, a master's by then. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, I have been married and still been lonely. I'd be surrounded by thousands of people, still be lonely, still want companionship. So just because you get married doesn't mean you'll get all the romance, you get the companionship. It don't mean you be financially stable. Sometimes you're paying his debts. You know, you got his name, you got his debts and his baby mama's debts, you know, so I don't think that's the answer. Some people feel if I just get a man, I'd be all right. But that's not true. That's that Disney, I need a Prince Charming to come save me mentality, man. You know, I need a knight on a horse.
Right.
And pay for the horse. I'm just saying.
You got to pay for the horse.
He done rented that horse and he behind his payment. So.
No, I think it totally depends on the person.
Yeah.
You know, some people, you know, view it as an opportunity to build with a partner, you know, and they want to build in a, you know, variety of ways, building a family, building a legacy, building, you know, finances, things of that sort. Some people see it as an opportunity to run away or get out of their parents' house, you know, like they're ready. I'm 18. This is the best way that I can get out of my parents' house. So I'm going to go and get married. Some people see it as an opportunity to, you know, really express their love for someone, you know, like you know, oh, this person really wants to get, you know, married to me. I love them. Let's do it. Some people see it as an opportunity. We talked earlier, a little bit earlier, about getting a green card. So, you know, some people see it as an opportunity at a better life. You know, I mean, it really depends on the person
and culture,
cultural. You know, there are cultural implications to it as well, right? Depending on what country you're in. And it also depends, I think, a lot about, you know, the stage of life that you're in too, you know? So there are different things that you're doing at different stages of your life. And so that also impacts why you may get married or may not. So those are my thoughts. I you know, I just feel like it totally depends on the person and the circumstances and situation.
I have a quick question. We might have to do it another time. Why do you guys think it's a stigma that people have on dating plus size women? Like, I'm so sick of hearing it. I mean, why is that an issue for some men? Or they got to hide you, or they'll come to your house from 12 to 4 in the morning. Can't talk to them in the daytime though. You know, are you serious?
They have a shallow hell syndrome. They don't want to be a shallow hell syndrome. They don't want to be seen with someone like that in front of their friends, because they think they're gonna get judged by them. Been
but
there,
even
done
why
that.
is the judgment there? Let's even go deeper. Why it would be a thing? Especially when they big mama fat.
They worry about what
your whole family
everybody
fat.
exactly. They worry about what their friends and their family going to say, and then they try to hide you and don't acknowledge you, you know. And then next thing you know, you lost out on someone that was really good for it, you know. So they had that mentality like, oh yeah, she's good, but you know, she's fluffy or whatever, and she don't, you know, somebody in my family that want to be around, you know, see her, you know. So it's just they had that syndrome. I call it shallow Hal from the movie. How Hal saw the girl as slim when he got transformed. They messed with his mind, and then but everybody else saw her as plus size. So
gotcha.
that's why I call it that. So.
All right. Well, this has been a nice spirited conversation. I love it. I don't know if we can come back on, but if you guys are interested, I could try to send another link and come back on. It's up to you guys. But we're about to end this session. And I just want to tell you guys, thank you for participating. We can do this often if you guys are interested. I don't mind doing it once a month if we want.
Just let me know, child, because.
So are you posting the whole thing, or are you going to cut and paste?
No, I'm going to send it as is. As is. Look, I'm not technical at all, Tasha. I hope you post at all. I don't even know if it's going to make it. But thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the group, and maybe we can come back later and finish the discussion. All right.
Okay.
All
right.
Nice meeting you guys.
See you later. Hey, Nasha. Bye, Nasha.
Hey, bye.